Stay at home if you don't want to be killed. Namaste, Vanakkam, welcome. I have in mind the tragic event that happened in Mumbai yesterday, in which the spoiled son of a Mumbai Shiva Sena MLA, in a particularly spirited state, having soaked himself up in liquor and at the wheel of a powerful car, BMW, hit two people traveling by a scooter, of which the woman had the misfortune to fall onto the bonnet of the car, and the spoiled brat of an MLA's son dragged her over a distance of 1.5 kilometers. Her husband's screams, her scream for help, all went unheeded. And not only that, after a kilometer and a half, the car stops. The MLA's son, his name is Mihir Shah, he exchanges his seat with the driver so that the driver can be blamed for what has happened. And the driver reportedly then runs the car yet again over the body to make sure that the victim is thoroughly dead and there is no chance for her survival. And Mihir Shah, the smart chap he is, he shaves off his beard, assumes the advantage of incognito, contacts his father, the very responsible lawmaker of Maharashtra, Rajesh Shah, Shiva Sena Shinde Group MLA, who, like a good father and law-abiding citizen and responsible lawmaker that he is, he advises his son to flee from the scene. He should not bother to help the victims. Such a question doesn't arise. He only has to protect his own backside. Doesn't matter what harm, what damage, what pain, what destruction, what death he caused. The only thing that matters to a father is that the son must be intact, no matter what happens to others. And the rest of the story you can gather from the media. I don't have to detail these extremely distasteful details. Details that makes one hang one's head in shame. Shame at the thought of what has happened to humanity, what has come of us. Now, predictably, political parties have become alert and aware, especially given that Maharashtra will soon face assembly elections. So, this will become a politically sensitive issue. Otherwise, the outcome, otherwise, the manner of treating this case would be different. The Maharashtra Municipal Corporation acts with commendable expeditiousness and resorts to the bulldozer antidote to the corruption of the pub owner, where the MLA son, the poor MLA's poor son, had a rave party, and apparently he and his friends consumed liquor to the tune of 19,000 rupees just within a couple of hours. An MLA's son can burn up 19,000 rupees. Why wouldn't he kill somebody? Why wouldn't he kill 100 people if he is inclined to? Just for fun's sake, kill, enjoy yourself. The scream of the victim in agony can be music to your ears. Otherwise, what is money for? What is power for? If you have to lead a normal life, power is of no use. It has no glamour. The glamour of power rests entirely in the ability to live as a law unto oneself, to inflict pain on others in a state of assured impunity, to afford whatever you want, and there is no limit to the pleasures you can seek Otherwise, what else is money for? What else is power for? Why should his father be in politics, especially in principled politics? Now that his father is in alliance with the BJP, he cannot do any wrong. He can practice only principled politics. There are various aspects to the story, but I just want to draw your attention to only one aspect of it because nobody else is going to talk about it. That's the only reason why I thought I would claim your attention for a minute or two. Instances like this are on the increase. We have just emerged from that horrendous tragedy in Pune, in which two young lives were snuffed out by the spoiled son of a very affluent builder who was driving his Porsche car, and he had consumed liquor to the tune of 70,000 rupees. So, compared to him, the MLA's son is a poor fellow. He is below the poverty line in the consumption of liquor. He could spend only 19,000 rupees a night. Whereas the other fellow, the son of a mere builder, can afford to spend 70,000 rupees on liquor alone, as though that's peanuts. That's the amount of money in circulation. So, the point of interest for us as ordinary citizens of this country, people who pay road taxes, to use the roads where we are run over, mowed down, killed, the issue that stares us in the face out of all such episodes is this: where do these children get this money? Of course, they get their money from their parents. Where do their parents get this money? Do I have any doubt that this is nothing but ill-gotten wealth, unaccounted for money, disproportionate assets, income out of proportion with one's known sources, or assets out of proportion with one's known sources of income? Any doubt? So I propose just a single point solution to all these problems, just one solution. If you can do this much, these problems will end. Can we hold our politicians accountable for the money that they earn? Is it possible to keep economic surveillance on our lawmakers? How come that these politicians become so rich, that they and their children become public nuisance? Does not the law of the land apply to them? There are stringent laws in this country applicable to all citizens concerning disproportionate assets. It's not a mystery as to how much an MLA can earn the legitimate way. And if an MLA is found to be richer by 100 crores, 200 crores, in excess of his known sources of income, why is it that no action is taken against him on the disproportionate assets law? Why is it that we have in this country a situation in which politicians are above the law of the land? If you and I have wealth in excess of our known sources of income, we get into serious trouble. Whereas these politicians who rob, who loot, who pickpocket, who extort, who practice corruption to fatten themselves, they live in assured impunity to the consequences of what they do. All the problems on account of the spoiled children of politicians making life a nightmare for citizens on the roads of the country, and that's all over, it's happening all over the country. That's the reason why I'm making an issue of it. It can be solved, and solved very effectively, if politicians, without any difference of party allegiance, can be brought under strict accountability concerning their assets. What is the Income Tax Department doing? Why are they not investigating these cases? Now, in this case, the visible action taken so far is that the pub in which the politician's son went and got himself dead drunk is partially demolished. Now that's done in high visibility, cameras focused on it, and that scene is beamed all over the country to create the illusion that stringent action is being initiated. But stringent action should be initiated not only against the pub owner. After all, his lapse or his offense is nothing compared to the offense of the son of the politician. Action has been taken against the pub owner. If he has infringed the law of the land, he needs to pay for it. I have no problem there. But what about Rajesh Shah? What about Mihir Shah, the father and son duo? What action is taken against them? If Rajesh Shah, the member of the Legislative Assembly of Maharashtra, advised, as all media channels report without any doubt or any uncertainty, if he indeed did advise his son to flee from the scene and not allow himself to be caught by the police, he does not deserve to be the member of the Legislative Assembly of Maharashtra even for a minute. The least that his party should do is to dismiss him forthwith. There should be a law in the land to deal with such instances. Already there are enough legal provisions, but more specific, targeted laws stipulating that any member of the Legislative Assembly who tries to interfere with the operations of the law of the land will stand disqualified forthwith. And also, all the MLAs, MLCs, members of parliament, ministers, they should all be subject to annual stringent verification of their assets earned in the preceding financial year. And if there is asset in excess of the known sources of income, they should be subjected to exemplary punishment under the law of the land. This idea that if a person becomes a politician, and especially a politician who belongs to a ruling party, is entitled to complete impunity, protection from consequences, no matter what the offense he or his kith and kin would do, this is an insult to civilized existence. This is an insult to the very idea of the rule of law. We say that everybody is equal in the eye of the law. I heard the Maharashtra Chief Minister Shinde saying that no one will be spared, everybody is equal in the eye of the law. Bunkum, and my blood boiled when I heard him say that. If everybody is equal in the eye of the law, then his political colleague, a member of his party, MLA of his party, should be acted upon. His assets must be investigated. How come he has this kind of money? I have worked lifelong. For 43 years I worked. I could afford to buy only a second-hand car. The car I'm using now is 19 years old. How does an Indian working in India, leading an honest life, afford this kind of luxuries? I cannot think of going and having a meal in a 5-star hotel paying 5,000 rupees for my wife and I. Here is a brat of a kind of nondescript politician whose son can just throw money like this for his drinks alone. 19,000 rupees for one night. What must be the monthly bill? How much is his dad investing on keeping his son as high as he is at the moment? Small wonder it's nowhere his conscience that he dragged a poor woman, Kaveri, to her death, dragging her 1.5 kilometers. As Indians, we must hang our head in shame that we produce such brats. And they are the offspring of our lawmakers. Woe unto us. Unless and until there is a volcanic eruption of public indignation, there will be no solution to these problems. You and I pay road tax, but we won't be able to use the roads. It's not merely the question of the spoiled children of this VIP or that VIP threatening our life every now and then. It's also the question of a nuisance like the Mumbaiites are going to pay for Ambani's son's wedding. The life in Mumbai, certain parts of Mumbai, is going to be paralyzed. Citizens will not be allowed to use the roads of Mumbai freely, even though they pay road tax, because a VVIP wedding is taking place and the convenience of all the citizens must be suspended in order to facilitate the unlimited indulgence in luxury and wastefulness on the part of a rich industrialist and his son, Mukesh Ambani's son. If Mukesh Ambani's son decides to marry, Mumbai should be paralyzed. There it is, take it. What further evidence do you need for this kind of extremely objectionable collusion that exists between state power and corporate power? The authorities of the state deem it their number one priority to facilitate the outlandish craving and indulgence in luxury of these corporate giants. After all, these corporate giants are thriving at our expense. You should find out how much money Mukesh Ambani owes to the banking system in this country, what is considered as non-performing assets. All these people are playing with our money, the money that we deposit in banks. As G.K. Chesterton once said, this corporate culture is a wonderful mechanism by which what is public property becomes private property. If we are spewing up billionaires, it's not because they work harder than most of us. They know the art of manipulating the system, and they know the art of entering into a collusion or collaboration with the state power to slant everything in their favor. And in the process, the corporate giants gain. In the process, politicians gain. Even a chota politician like this Mihir Shah's father, they have crores and crores to throw around. Why wouldn't they look down upon you and me as small creatures creeping somewhere else who are not entitled to human rights and whose life can be snuffed out as and when their children are pleased to drive at breakneck speed, unmindful of what harm and what destruction it will cause to life and property? Where have you reached? Is this the India of our dreams? Is it the Naya Bharat? Look at the shocking disparity between the advertisements and the reality. Daily we are being told by the propaganda experts that we are skyrocketing towards a new heaven of prosperity and greatness, etc. Vishwaguru, Vishwaguru and Mumbai Kuru. Shame on us, shame on us. Events like this happen. For a day or two, they'll be talked about. Then it should be consigned to oblivion and it's back to business as usual. The same thing will go on and on and on. I was listening to the husband whose wife has been crushed to death in this manner. He says, we are poor people. We have no hope of getting justice. We have absolutely no hope. That's the predicament of the common man, utter hopelessness in times of pain, agony, anguish, pitted against the might of the state. And you talk about the rule of law. He says, I will not get justice because those who have caused the accident, those who have taken the life of my wife, those who have robbed me of my wife and my children of their mother are powerful people. Nothing will happen to them. After all, the boy who caused this accident disappeared under good, sound advice for a period long enough for the alcohol content in his blood to ebb out completely and drug, if he was consuming drugs, to wear out, so that if he's subjected to medical examination, he'll come out clean like a freshly laid egg. He'll come out as an angel, an archangel. And ultimately, the woman would be blamed that she had no business to come to the place where the MLA's son was driving, causing him this embarrassment. After all, he had to run from there. He had to shave off his beard. He had to hide himself for about 3 days. Look at the inconvenience caused to a dearly beloved son of a very noble, principled politician like Rajesh Shah. So now that she is dead, she can't be punished. Her husband should be punished. He should be caught and whipped in public because he and his wife causes inconvenience to the MLA's son. What business did they have? Don't they know that when there are VIP movements, ordinary citizens should completely vacate the road, get off the road altogether, so that the brats of VIPs can have a free run? Do you expect the son of an MLA, when he is dead drunk, to drive in a very responsible, disciplined manner? In which world are you living? How can you blame this little handsome boy, only 24 years old? If he was sober, you can blame him. He is swimming in liquor. He does not know whether he is touching the steering or the brake or the clutch or whatever. He is driving in that state. And when a car is speeding in that state, this chap, Pradeep Nakwa, and his wife Kaveri Nakwa, come in the way and cause inconvenience to him. Very unfair. So, if all goes well, ultimately Mihir Shah will be bailed out. Nothing will happen to him. And because election is coming, some semblance of action will be enacted. The drama will be acted out. But nothing will happen to the spoiled brat. The man has lost his wife, his daughters have lost their mother, and bad for them that they happen to be on the road when the MLA's son in his favorite car, BMW, was tearing through the street. So all of us have to be careful. Please make sure that you don't travel, you don't use public roads at a time when the children of politicians are not likely to come that way. And if you suspect that there is some kind of movement of politicians somewhere, you immediately go off the road, abandon your car, run for your life, hide somewhere until the danger is overpassed. As far as possible, don't come anywhere near them, because you have a duty to protect your life, that's it. Others have no duty. You have to protect your life. Even as you pay road tax, the fact that you pay road tax is no guarantee that you will not die if you're hit by a BMW or a Porsche or whatever. So save yourself, because no one else cares for you. That's a simple truth. Mera Bharat Mahan. Sare jahan se acha Hindu sita hamara hamara. Sare jahan se acha.